Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Virtual Health Club. I'm your host, Dr. Millie Lytle, and I'm the co-founder of NatMed Coach. Today, I'm very excited to present this topic. This is one of my babies called NeuroLiberation, which is a union of hypnotherapy, meditation, and brain plasticity, as well as neurocoaching, which is a brain plasticity based coaching method that Robert Notter developed. And so I use NeuroLiberation as a way to help my patients identify their core beliefs and to change their thinking. Their stinking thinking, that's what we say, right? So we're all brought into this world witnessing our parents, maybe witnessing our parents struggle with certain issues that they have, and we somehow come to think thoughts about ourselves, whether it's things that we're directly told in kind of a painful way in an abusive environment, or even just in a stressful environment, or if it's things that we absorb, we feel as very little children, very small children, that we're in the way, or that we're not good enough, or that we're not loved, or all of these things that surround us not getting all of our needs met, which our parents might actually, we might be in a perfectly healthy environment at home also, and we still might end up with these beliefs because this is our temperament and our parents don't know everything about us and they miss certain things that we need. And so the brain kind of organizes itself to develop thoughts that are meant to protect ourselves throughout life. And maybe they do protect ourselves at that time that they're formed, but throughout life, as we become adults, as we grow up, these thoughts become outdated and actually can become hurtful for us because they end up being programs that linger in our minds that we might end up telling ourselves and reinforcing ourselves on a daily basis. And then we develop subplots, subprograms. There's a bit of computer analogy or programming analogy there that's used because we can reprogram a computer, but we can also reprogram our brain. And so this is what the concept of neuroplasticity means. It means that plasticity means molding or shaping, changing essentially. And so we can change the way that we think by retraining our mind and our thought patterns. And in order to do that, we have to first identify what those darker thoughts are that we tell ourselves, catch ourselves in those, and also just lay over top of those negative thought patterns new, more positive, more helpful and supportive thought patterns for ourselves. And so I really love this method because I feel like instead of going through 20 years of therapy and having a therapist kind of gradually point this out to you, this is something that people can do quite quickly. Actually, it does take work and effort, but depending on where you are in your life and how ready and willing you are to accept those kind of deeper, darker layers of your personality. And by that, I just mean your shadow side, just the part of yourself that you don't like to look at. And we all have that. We all have a part of ourselves that maybe we feel guilty over something. Maybe we feel ashamed over something. Maybe we feel embarrassed, humiliated, dirty, like we're not good. All of these, this is like the shadow side in psychology. So this is the dark part of ourselves that we go to in our mind, kind of the default. And again, it's there to protect ourselves. And it's there to serve a purpose, especially when we develop it. And, all human beings have a dark and a light. We all have a shadow and a ego, what the part of ourselves that we want to be seen, the two masks, etc., that we know so well in theater. And it's not about getting rid of that shadow self. That shadow self is necessary. We need it because we need it in order to balance off our conflicts, our personal conflicts, and conflicts that we have with other people, and morals and ethics and things that we face in life. But it's to become consciously aware of what our shadow is so that we can take responsibility as adults and as we grow into adulthood to make changes that then support and help us. So I hope that's clear. And today we're going to be going through several exercises. This entire next hour is going to be based on exercises that I've developed around my NeuroLiberation course, and for the purpose of kind of helping you celebrate yourself even when it's hard. So we tend to we might be stuck in a rut, or we might be feeling a specific way about ourselves based on maybe feedback we're getting from the outside world, or what we perceive as the feedback that the outside world is giving us, that we're not good enough to get a promotion, and that we're not good enough to make more money, or we're not good enough to get that person and just be loved by that one specific person, or what have you. And then we end up harshly judging ourselves. And so this is what this is about. And I think that the day that I'm recording this is the Pisces full moon. And we are in Virgo season. It's the Pisces full moon today, which is September 13th. It's going to be around midnight tonight, actually, on the East Coast. So it's the 13th, 14th. And so this is a time where it's good for us to explore God and our beliefs and what else is there for us, and then hopefully being able to put them into practice after the full moon period is gone. And so whether you believe in the full moon and astrology or not, that's fine. But anyway, I feel good about presenting this now because this is also in celebration of the year anniversary of Virtual Health Club. This is another baby that I have that, we've had a lot of ups and downs over the past year. And I want to thank all of you deeply for staying with us for the year. And even some of you, if you've only been here a few months, or if you only stayed for a month or so, that I still want to thank you very deeply for participating in whatever way you have, and for telling your friends about it and telling your family about it and sharing it with other people. Because I think we're doing a lot of really good work on this in this health club, and we really want to help you more. We really want to help more people, so we need to hear from you also as what you need. So I hope you enjoyed today. So the first thing you need to do is to get a pen and a paper. So if you have, I don't know if you have that ready, but just I'll give you time so that you can get that for yourself. And just also get into a comfortable, quiet environment if you can. So this is not the time to be driving a car and listening. This is not the time to be tending to children. It's not the time to have something on the stove. Don't want to be operating any heavy machinery during this time, or that some siren is going to go off, some bell that you have to get up and leave. So if that's the case, then you can listen to this on replay. You will have 30 days, or if you've purchased this, then you'll have it forever. And so just get into that place that is comfortable for you, and in a position that's comfortable for you. This could be lying down. Now, if you're going to read and if you're going to write a little bit, then you might want to be in a comfortable writing position. The best way to receive information in terms of meditation and or hypnosis is seated on your butt, either a comfortable firm back chair or a sofa, and your feet flat on the floor, preferably shoes off, and wiggle those toes and get yourself comfortable, and then your hands either face up or down on your lap. And so we're going to choose your affirmation, and I'm going to go through a series of affirmations, and you can just sit there quietly. Just allow yourself to breathe in deeply, breathe in all the energy and essence of the day, essence of the moment, and allow yourself to breathe out anything that you don't want, anything that's negative or stressful, anything that's harmful. So again, just do that again, breathing in all the good things, the love and the joy and the relaxation, and breathe out any stress. And you might want to scan your body to see where you're holding stress. And if you are holding stress anywhere, then just allow that to go and continue to do that several times. With every breath you take in, it becomes more relaxing. And just know that everything will work out for me, and that I am a winner. The tools I need to succeed are in my possession. Everything is working out perfectly for me, even if I can't see it at this moment. The universe has my back. God is on my side. There is no one better to get the job done than me. I have faith. I have faith in my skills. I have faith in my social skills. I have faith in my ability to love. I have faith in my ability to get the job done. My strength is greater than any struggle. I'm fearless. I'm getting stronger every day. I'm in awe of what my body is capable of. I can do this. I was not made to give up. I am meant to be here exactly where I am, exactly in this time and place. I am who I want to be, and every day I am becoming more of who I want to be. No one can make me feel inferior. I've discovered that I am fierce. I've discovered that I am worthy. I know my worth. I inspire others. I do not fear the fire. I am the fire. I choose what I become. I choose who I become. I've decided that I'm good enough. I'm brave enough. I'm brave enough to climb any mountain. I enjoy a challenge. I have the power to change my own story. Strength is in vulnerability. It's not their job to like me, it's mine. I use my failures as a stepping stone. I have the courage to say no. I have confidence in my skills. I am not afraid to be wrong. Happiness is within my grasp. I am confident in the presence of others. I speak with confidence and self-assurance. The only person who can defeat me is myself. I dare to be different. My every desire is achievable. I am on my way to becoming the best version of myself. I am a work in progress, just like everybody. Even outside my comfort zone, I will be comfortable in my own skin. If I fail, I will fail forward. My confidence knows no limits. And so there are so many affirmations. And of those affirmations, if there was one that you felt really rang true to you, or if there was one or two that you remember, or even if you want to change, go ahead and write those down. I do not need other people for happiness. I'll write a few more, but you go ahead and write what struck you. I choose hope over fear. Positivity is a choice that I choose to make. I choose to be positive. It's easy to be negative. I choose to be positive. I will not take other people's negativity personally. My commitment to myself is real. I am most committed to myself. I believe in me. I acknowledge my own self-worth. My confidence is soaring. I am not my mistakes. I am not the sum of my mistakes. I am not my diagnosis. I accept myself unconditionally. I am proud of myself and all that I have accomplished. I am successful. I am a beautiful person. I deserve love, compassion, and empathy. I am enough. I believe in the person I dream of becoming. I do my best, and my best is enough. I choose to be happy and completely love myself today. I honor my commitments to myself. I choose faith over fear. There is no wrong decision. I learn from my mistakes. I am now creating my life exactly as I want it. I am free of worry and am at peace with who I am. Positivity is a choice. I choose to be positive. I matter. I am allowed to say no to others and yes to myself. I do what makes me happy. I know what's best for me. What's best for me is best for others. What's best for me is best for others. It's best for others around me. What I give is what I receive. I choose to not take it personally. I am a diamond. It is time for me to shine. My opinion matters. I am a magnet for love. Self-love is a natural state of being. I am loved and I am wanted. I will stop apologizing for being myself. Negative self-talk has no place in my life. I can look in the mirror and say, I love you. I do not bow to my fears. My mind, body, and soul are fit and strong. I am grateful for the things I have. My goals are simple and uncomplicated. I will achieve all of my goals. My goals are getting closer to completion every day. I set clear goals and work to complete them every day. Clients, lovers will flock to me, whatever you like. My goals are my focus. I only set goals that matter. My focus on success is unwavering. I take time for myself. I take time for stillness. My mind is like water. I will change and adjust as needed. When my need is strong enough, I will find a way. I am committed to becoming the person I will become. Success is my present. Success is my future. I must rely upon myself. I know myself best. I know what's best for me. I trust myself. I trust my own judgment. I learn from my mistakes. I am responsible for my own future. I can forgive myself in the past. I am my own best chance for accomplishing my goals. I will accept nothing but the best for me. Success is in my future. I am constantly improving. I desire to learn new things. I am unafraid of change. Where others see a challenge, I see new opportunities. I have a growth mindset. I have an abundance mindset. I am rich. I am powerful. I am wealthy. I am abundant. Time is my friend. I will finish all the tasks that I need to finish. I have enough time. The universe is my friend. God is my friend. Time is my friend. My life is made for joy. I will live with exuberance. I can be successful and happy. I can be happy and successful. I can be wealthy and happy. I can be happy and wealthy. I can be well. I am healthy, wealthy, and wise. I take responsibility for my successes and my failures. I am not dependent on anyone else. I appreciate the others in my life. I have gratitude. I am grateful for those who love me. I am grateful for my capacity to love. I enjoy being surrounded by others. My fear diminishes as I live my life with courage. I can go with the flow. Okay, guys, and there are so many affirmations that are so important. And I'm just going to share if you're busy writing down, no need to look up. So did you choose your affirmation? Did you write it down? And you want to repeat that affirmation 10 times, 20 times a day, for as long as it feels true to you. And once you've accomplished that affirmation, once you repeat it 10 times, you can even repeat it in your mind 10 times right now. I am good enough. 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 And you tell yourself your affirmation every day, and you breathe and you check in with yourself to see how that feels. Because every time you say an affirmation that rings true to you, really touches you in your heart, and is something that you really need to be telling yourself, because maybe it's something that you're not thinking about yourself, or it's something that you've been avoiding, or it's been something you've been doing the opposite. So by owning that affirmation and putting it into a positive place, then you focus on what it takes to be that person that you want to be. And you don't have to focus on anything else. You don't have to focus on how hard it will be to be that person, or what it's going to take to become that person. Those are all in the baby steps, doing it every day. But the act of just breathing into it and doing the affirmations, and then seeing how you feel about it, allows you to visualize your future, allows you to determine who you will be. So based on your affirmation, I want you to write down, if this is your affirmation, and if you become this affirmation, this is your affirmation, how can you visualize your future? If I am good enough, what does this mean for me? If I am wealthy, what does this mean for me? What does that look like in the future? What can you do for others? What can you have? What can you buy? Where can you live? Who can you be? Who is the vision of yourself? Now, we all just want to be ourselves. We all want to feel like we're being ourselves, not like we're pretending to be somebody else. But this is how to become the better self, the better version of yourself, the better version of yourself that feels better about being yourself, as opposed to the version that we all carry around sometimes that feels bad about being ourselves. And then you want to identify the feelings. What does it feel like to be that better version of yourself? Is there a weight lifted off your shoulder? Does it feel liberated? Do you feel at ease? Do you feel at peace? And identify all of those feelings, what those mean to you. And I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. And this might feel like you might be having goosebumps or something ringing through you. And if you get excited about who you can be in the future, it does emit a lot of feelings, a lot of vibrations, a lot of different ways that you can be inspired. Just focus on all those ways, all those good feelings. And if there's some bad feelings, if there's some fear around it, that's okay. It's okay. It's okay to be afraid. You can own that and allow that to be there. But are you going to let your fear conquer you, or are you going to allow yourself to grow into the person? It's not a matter of being that, not being afraid anymore and being that boastful person, arrogant person because you've decided to be. No, that's not what true confidence is. It takes time. It takes the ability to identify the feeling so that you can grow into being that true authentic person, that true authentic version of yourself, that real version. And have compassion for yourself. This is one of the most important things, especially you identify who you want to be, you identify where you want to go, you identify your affirmation, your positive affirmation, but then does the judgment kick in? But then does the self-doubt kick in? Have positivity for yourself. Have compassion for yourself. Honor yourself that this is, that you've been through all of this in your life, and now you want to work towards changing it. You don't want to stand in your own way. You want to move out of your way. And in order to do that, you need to have compassion for where you've been. And you need to have compassion for who you are right now and the struggles of it. What if you, so I often tell my patients, what if you were your child? What if you were talking to yourself as if you were a friend? Would you be judging yourself then? Or what if you were talking to yourself as if you were your child? Would you be giving them all the self-doubt and judgment? And then integrate all these emotions. Allow yourself to feel what it feels like to feel all these emotions. It might feel raw. It might feel irritating. It might feel wonderful, blissful, radiant. It might feel joyful. It might feel scary. You might feel resentment. You might feel anger. You might feel irritation. You might be irritated right now. You might be feeling irritated with me. And that's okay. But allow yourself to integrate all of these emotions. Allow yourself to feel all those feelings and just let them be. And if you have anything to write down, then write it down. And if you have anything to explore, or if a new affirmation comes up or a new judgment, how can you turn that judgment into an affirmation? Like if you feel like, I don't feel like doing this, I don't want to do this, this is not going to work for me. How can you turn that into an affirmation? Like, I'm doing everything I can to achieve the results that I want. I'm setting aside time for me so that I can accomplish the goals that I set out to do. This time is going to be different because I am going to be compassionate for myself and the hard road that I've been through and how much it takes to get somewhere new. And then give thanks. Give thanks to yourself for showing up here. Give yourself a hug. Give yourself a pat on the back. Celebrate yourself and be very thankful that you've gone through this journey, that you're here right now, that there's something new that you've learned about yourself. Just on a personal note, for me, when I used to watch Oprah Winfrey show, and I used to hear her talking about the gratitude journal, and this stuck with me for a really long time. The gratitude journal. What is the gratitude journal? What is there to be grateful of? And I was thinking about it all wrong, because I was thinking about it, oh, I have to be grateful for the person who opened the door for me, or I have to be grateful because that's what I'm told I should be thankful for. I should be thankful for when somebody helps me in this way, or I should be thankful for when for having all my limbs, or I should be thankful for my health, or I should be thankful for having families that love me. And I used to think about those things in a way that there was a barrier between me and actual gratitude, because I couldn't feel the actual gratitude. I was only thinking in a way of what I should be grateful for. And at one point, it dawned on me that the only thing that I have to acknowledge is what I actually am grateful for, and at the moments that I'm grateful for it. So instead of thinking of myself as a person who has a problem with gratitude, and maybe I was the person who had a problem with gratitude, but it was because I didn't understand how to access it in myself. And so we all might have these kind of blind spots. because we're thinking about something in a specific way, however we got that impression that we have to think about it, instead of just allowing ourselves to feel it. And so when we give thanks for what it actually is that you're experiencing. And if that's not available to you at the moment, then you can allow that to be an experiment for yourself, a project for yourself. When do I feel thankful? When do I feel grateful? Or whatever it is, when do I feel compassionate towards myself? Being compassionate towards yourself is one of the keys in bringing plasticity, because we cannot change ourselves if we are not giving in to ourselves, giving comfort and compassion and feeling positive about ourselves. We can't force ourselves to do something out of rigidity. That's not what neuroplasticity is about. Neuroplasticity is bending. It's allowing ourselves to make changes. And in order for that to be successful, then we have to be compassionate towards, as I mentioned, what we've been through, where we are right now, how hard it's been. And which is not to say that it's going to continue to be that hard, because neuroplasticity might be important for you to learn how things don't have to be so hard. But in order to make that change, you need to be compassionate for where you've been and how far you've come. So that was the end of the first lesson, and we're going to move on to the second one. Okay, so we're still sitting quietly, uninterrupted. And just notice the moment. Notice what's going on in this moment and what you can appreciate about it. What's good in this moment? Maybe it's the fact that you're here, that you gave yourself permission to show up to this session. Maybe it's that you're finally alone. You haven't been alone in a long time. Maybe it's you feel the connection of being a human being with other people. Maybe it's that you're writing something down and you don't normally do that. So appreciate the moment. Maybe there's some quiet around you and you enjoy the quiet. Maybe it's a beautiful day. Maybe it's cool finally. Whatever it is, just appreciate the moment. And with your eyes closed, recall a joyful memory from childhood. Go way back, flip through the chapters of your memory book that's in your conscious mind. Flip through it and recall a memory from childhood that's joyful. And this could be at any age. It could be before 5, like I talked about before. It could be around school age, going into school. It could be at home. You could be on vacation. You could be with your family, with your friends. You could be a teenager. You could even be a young adult. But a joyful memory. And look into that memory more. Look to see how old you are. Look down at your feet. See what shoes you have on. Look at your hands. How big or small they are. How young they look. Look at what you're wearing. Remember that outfit on that day. Look at your surroundings. Notice how you're feeling, what it is that makes this moment so joyful. It might not be a specifically unique experience, this moment. It might just be a joyful moment, a simple daily type of joyful moment that you would have experienced as a child, or it might be something very specific that happened. And either way is absolutely fine. Just notice those feelings, all that feeling of exhilaration and exuberance and happiness and comfort and love, and what it is that makes this memory so joyful. And just allow this memory to penetrate itself and occupy a bigger space in you. Because maybe it's not a memory you've thought about much lately. Or maybe it's a memory that you used to think about all the time and you've forgotten. Or maybe it's a memory that you do think about all the time and you wonder why you always think about this time. And if you haven't already, just observe your surroundings, breathe in the air. What are the smells? All the sentient feelings. If there's anything to see, anything to hear, what are you listening to? Whose voice can you hear? Is it music or sounds from outside or inside the house? What smell is in the air? The baking or the seashore or the breeze? Or laughing? Somebody's voice? And allow this memory to magnify. Can you magnify it 5 times? All those feelings, that feeling of joy, can it be magnified 5 times in you? Can you magnify it 10 times so that everything you love about this feeling feels 10 times stronger? Everything you love about this memory. Can you magnify it 10 more times? Or maybe that's too much. You magnify it 20 times. Five more times. How much can you magnify this memory so that it occupies more of your everyday? Because this memory is the memory of you being your true self. This is a part of your self that you enjoy. And even if the people, whether they're here still or whether they're gone, still live in you through this memory. And what's more is that this reflects back to you what you're capable of, the happiness and the joy that you're capable of. And you can always turn to this moment anytime you need reminder of how much happiness is possible within you. And we can talk ourselves down out of it. We can always say, oh, those people aren't there anymore. I can't go to that place anymore. That house is no longer there. And that's all true. That's all reality. We can't actually maybe relive that moment exactly as it was, but we can experience in ourselves, we can experience in our mind and in all of our senses, and we can remind ourselves of who it is that we are, what we love about where we came from and our experiences. And this is very important for building confidence and for finding other moments that we enjoy, for finding more things about our life that we love and that we savor. That might be even more important. And so when you've enjoyed this moment as much as you possibly can, you can just go back, settle in a place in your mind, which might not be as joyful as the most joyful moment from childhood, but somewhere in your mind where you like to be. It could be called your happy place. It could be a spot on a rock. It could be on the beach. It could be in the woods. It could be in a house. It could be looking out at the water. It could be somewhere you've been before. It could be somewhere from your childhood or your past. It could be somewhere from your present. It could be somewhere from your that you want to go in your future. It could be a place that's entirely made up in your mind, or a combination of other different places that you've been. But it's your happy place, and this is somewhere you feel very calm and comfortable, where you can do some real deep relaxation. And you can feel how serene you are. You can feel how gentle it is to be here, how easy it is to be here, and how good, how well you feel here. Almost as if you were capable of making very swift changes when you're at this place. It's so easy. Nothing else takes your energy here. It's all just giving you energy, feeding your soul, nourishing you. And now I want you to recall a confusing or painful memory. It could be from childhood, or it could be recent. Something that happened that was painful. Something that where you didn't get what you needed. Whether it's somebody didn't show up for you, maybe your mother or your father didn't show up for you, or you were hurt. Only what you're willing to do today, because I know that this is a group and we're not obviously sharing, but what feels safe for you to go to today. But a time where you felt confused or hurt. And this could be a significant moment, a memory that you recall because it just happened, or this could be something that really built the foundation of who you think you are based on that. Maybe it could be where you turn to, where you go to in your mind when you recall why you don't deserve good things, or why you need to leave, or why you are left, or it could be any situation. And then this is called the instant healing technique, because you identify in this situation what you didn't get from the person that you're with. And instead of requiring that person who's not able to give it to you at that time, and maybe that person's actually the person hurting you, but it's a loved one, what could you not give yourself, and what could you not receive at that time that you needed, that you can now go back and give yourself? What is it that you need? Sometimes people need physical affection, a hug, to be touched, to be told it's okay, to be told that they're loved. It might be it's something of the basic needs. It's love, it's shelter, it's concern, it's care. What can you give yourself as an adult? Can you return to that moment and be there for yourself? And whoever was there who let you down, who was supposed to be maybe caring for you, or who you expected to give you that, did not, they can just exit out of this situation, out of this scenario, and you can nurture yourself. And this is what we can do for ourselves every day. Every time we're feeling wounded, every time we're feeling vulnerable, every time we're feeling injured, we can be the one to soothe that part of ourself, that child part of ourself that is not receiving what we need in that situation. And being the one to show up in this way for yourself gives you independence, which is not to say that we don't need other people, we do. But in order to change the way we think about ourselves, we need to change ourselves and show up for ourselves in this way. And so this is a really great exercise in showing up for ourselves. And you can use this scenario anytime that you feel let down by somebody. Anytime somebody disappoints you, anytime somebody doesn't show up in the way that you expect, you can replace what you're expected to receive from that person with what you can give yourself. And in this, I am learning a new skill. So you have a new affirmation. I am learning a new skill. Now, I've had people tell me, I've been doing everything for myself my entire life, and this is the problem. And if that's the case, then this is the hardest lesson for you to learn, because if that's the case, then it's still a lesson you need to learn more of. You know, maybe there's been resistance, or maybe there, for whatever reason, this is a tough lesson for you. It's not to take away from the toughness of it, but it is to give in to the need for you to be there for yourself, truly in a happy way, not in a faking it way, truly being happy with what you can give yourself. And this is a new skill. And if you've been doing it, but it hasn't been working, maybe you haven't been doing it deep enough, or maybe something else needs to be explored. But I hope that this helps you. I find that this technique is really helpful, and I'm learning a new skill. And that's what neuroplasticity, changing our mindset, changing our brain, changing our future is all about. Learning a new skill, being flexible enough to learn something new, even when we feel like it might not be new. So we can think more on that. And you say to yourself, I am worthy of love and protection. Even in that situation many years ago, however long it was, that memory, somebody hurt me, but I am worthy of love and protection. I am worthy of love and protection. I am worthy of love and protection. And I give thanks because I can do it for myself. I can find other people who are capable of supporting me if those people couldn't, but I can do it myself. Until I meet those people, I can do it myself, and I can rely on spirituality or religion as well. There's so many reasons to be thankful for what I can provide for myself and how the universe or God supports me in doing that, in achieving my goals. And I'm not going to let my history determine my present or my future. I'm not going to let my history determine my future. And I feel refreshed because I learned something, I went there, I went deep, I came out of it, I gave myself what I needed, and I still have the memory of being happy despite being hurt. And we can be happy despite being hurt also. And then we choose which one we want to focus on as we move forward. So all of those affirmations kind of come back, and we can decide for ourselves how we want to move forward. Or we can make excuses for ourselves too, if we don't want to change. Okay, so we'll do one more. this one. Sorry. Okay. And if there's anything you want to write, if there's anything that came up that you were thinking about, that you wanted to continue to work on from the last session or two, then the last exercise or two, then feel free to go ahead. Feel free to take a break if you're listening to this on replay and come back to it. So we're going to do one more exercise. And so again, we can recalibrate ourselves by continuing to sit quietly, feet flat on the floor, hands facing up or down in our lap. Taking a drink of water or kombucha. I'm having kombucha. Recentering ourselves, breathing in deeply, breathing in relaxation, breathing out any tension. Doing that a few times, breathing in all the relaxation, all the wonderful things to refresh and enliven yourself, and breathing out any stress, tension, negativity. And this is an exercise in being curious about yourself. So I mentioned during the first exercise, I believe, about conducting new efforts or intentions as experiments, almost in a scientific way. So if we can get a little bit more objectivity on ourselves, because what happens so often is that we're living as, I want to say, victims, whether that's positive or negative, but we're living as in reaction to what's happening around us all the time and what is going on in our mind. So our mind is constantly replaying these tracks and these tapes about what the world is giving us, whether we like it or whether we don't. We're making judgments about it. And then as we go on throughout our day. And we're never really, and when we're doing that, we're locked in to reaction and subjectivity, only thinking of ourselves, because we can only think of ourselves inside our, from the viewpoint behind our eyes. Whereas to be curious about yourself is to more think about yourself outside, in a more objective way, as a person on this planet among 5 billion who has a purpose, who's here for a reason, and who's one of 5 billion amongst other 5 billion people who deserve to be here also. And what is this one person's function? What is the meaning of this one person's life? And what is it, or whatever the question that you have about yourself? Can you formulate a question about yourself? And as you formulate a question, can you see a path in front of you? What do you see as the path in front? So you might want to close your eyes if you're not closing your eyes already. Imagine yourself, you are in your happy place. There might be nature all around you, and no doubt this is probably the most beautiful nature you can imagine. And you feel so comfortable and at home here. And you're standing in the middle of the path. And you're looking ahead. You're not looking behind, you're looking ahead. You're looking ahead towards a beautiful road. And you see it in front of you. And you're curious because you don't know what's up there. You've never been there before. And you might feel a little bit fearful, and that's okay because it's new. And the new is always maybe a little bit scary, but you also might feel very excited because you've never been there before. And it's not the same thing as you've encountered in the past. And here you are, right now, at this point in time, ready for something new. So really likely, the curious part of yourself is going to take over. And so you can see this path ahead of you with curiosity, with intense interest and wonder as to what is out there. And then you see a bridge. The bridge might be off in the distance, way off in the distance, or it might be close to you. But you walk towards it because you definitely want to see what happens. You want to see the bridge up close. You want to experience the journey as you walk towards the bridge. You want to enjoy the day. You want to notice if there's anything along the path. Are there flowers? Are there trees? Are there little animals? Are there butterflies? If there's anything talking to you or telling you something? Are the clouds in the sky? Are they rolling? Are they moving? Is it a clear blue day? Maybe there's a gleam of sunshine ahead. You can't help but follow that. It's beaming itself off the bridge seeming to sparkle. And you feel energized in walking towards this bridge. And so you feel like you want to walk faster and faster. But you know you need to pace yourself because it's a long way. And then it hits you that there's something that you want, that you had thought of in the past, and maybe you thought of it several times in the past. There's something that you want, something that you've never experienced. Maybe it's a feeling. Maybe it's a specific goal. Doesn't matter, whatever that is to you, but it's something that has burrowed itself into your brain before. It's come up. It's like, oh, I want that. Oh, that feels like me. Oh, that's something for me. And maybe you've forgotten about it for long periods of time, and then it's still come back to you. Or maybe it's something that you know has been with you, and you just have not known where it's going to come or where it's going to show up. But you're remembering it right now, that there's something that you want, and it's showing itself up now. And you wonder, I wonder why it's showing itself up, why it's showing up to me now. Could this be my opportunity? Because there's meaning in the fact that you're being remembered, that being reminded of it as you're walking towards this bridge, as you're walking into your future. This is you being at one with the universe on your path in flow. You didn't know that this was going to happen, but it did. And so now you accept it. And you look forward to what it is. And you begin to feel excited because you're putting the pieces together as you're being reminded of what it is that you want. Maybe you're developing a clear idea or sense of what that feeling will be when you get it. And maybe you're even being able to see more clearly what it is that you have to do in order to get there. It might not be something that's so easy to get because maybe you would have gotten it already, or maybe now with your new expanded mind, this view that you have of the path ahead, you can see more clearly. Maybe it's the right time. We've been waiting for the right time for this opportunity. And so this makes you feel very excited. And then it becomes clear to you as if you're having little epiphanies after little epiphany. And if this is happening, great. How to put your deepest desire into action and what steps to take in order to help you get there. Maybe it's as simple as continuing to walk towards the bridge, following the beautiful sun, following the glimmer on the bridge that excites you, that delights you. Maybe it's a curiosity of wanting to experience the travels on this road. Maybe it's nowhere else to go but forward. Maybe you just know from a practical standpoint that you cannot turn back. There's no other road to go on. So you're going to take this one foot in front of the other, and put your deepest desire into action almost blindly, only because the opportunity is here now. It's in your mind, it's in your feelings, it's in your anticipation. And not every path is only one way. Some paths branch off, and maybe you can't see some of those branches in front of you. But what you do know is that this feeling is something to follow. And so you can be thankful for that. And you can be thankful for having the opportunity to appreciate all the goodness that you experience on this walk. You might be happy for being inspired. You might be thankful for being reminded of what it is that you want to do. You might be thankful for knowing the steps or having a different impression on what that is. You might have an idea of what it takes to get there now. And simply in more positivity, move forward on the path until you get an opportunity to cross the bridge. And so that's it for today, guys. That is the NeuroLiberation. And I want to thank you so much for being here. It was an intense hour, and I hope you enjoyed it. And don't think that we'll take any questions today. What I think we'll do is ask you to write down all of your impressions of this presentation, and for you to make it personal, to truly make it personal. By writing down what affirmations first struck you and maybe struck you further on as we went into the session more. All the things that you want to move towards, and anything that you're grateful for. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for being here.